What's up, guys? We are now live for the BullRush Weekly Live podcast. Come chat. We're going to be talking about the government shutdown, day 17, the latest NFL Week 6 and Week 7 news, Forex, crypto, and much, much more. Click the link right here and watch now. Live for the BullRush Weekly Live podcast. Come chat. We're going to be talking about the government shutdown, day 17, the latest NFL Week 6 and Week 7 news, Forex, crypto, and much, much more. Click the link right here and watch now. What's up, guys? We are now live for the BullRush Weekly Live podcast. Come chat. We're going to be talking about the government shutdown, day 17, the latest NFL Week 6 and Week 7 news, Forex, crypto, and much, much more. Click the link right here. What's up, guys, and welcome to another episode. Sorry, I don't know why that was so delayed. Let me just double check something. Yeah, that was strange. Sorry about that. I have a new thing, and it was a little delayed on my screen there. But let me know if you can hear me all right. We're using a new streaming software, so sorry for that delay right there. But we are back, and we have another action-packed show. Today is October 17th. We have
172,790 active BullRush competitors. And I just wanted to welcome each and every one of you to this amazing show. Like always, if you guys have any questions, yeah, sorry, had a little comment from shout out to Rays from Kick. We're now streaming on Kick as well. So just so you know, we are streaming on all platforms: Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Kick, your local TV station. We are everywhere, and we're happy to be here. Got some great news. We got some updates on some competitions for you today. We have the government shutdown day 17, so we have some updates for that as well. We have, of course, Forex updates. We got updates about India. We got our crypto updates. We're going to give you some updates in sports. The NBA is back in China. How exciting is that? That's exciting. And I think it's actually back for the first time in 6 years. So we'll give you all the news about that. And then, of course, we got some NFL updates, some week 6 NFL updates, some MVP player of the weeks, some crazy yards, crazy touchdown runs, lots of crazy news to talk about with you today. But before we get into all of that, let's look at a crazy new deal we have here. The NFL, the 10K prop flash sale just started today. For only $25, you can get a $10,000 prop challenge. As you know, we're the best prop firm in the world. We're the only A-book prop firm in the world. Real quick, what that means is every other prop firm essentially is B-booked, which means they're taking the other side of the trade, which means if you're profitable, they lose money. For us, once you're in our level 4 and you hit that 10% profit and you make it to level 4, you are now A-booked, which means that we actually put all of your trades to market. And that profit split that we have is a true profit split. It's not just a discount like the other prop firms when they give 90-10 profit split. That's essentially just a 10% discount where they have to pay you 10% less, and it takes 10% back into their profits, right? For us, we take that profit split. We're actually putting your trades into market. So yes, that money, whether you lose, we lose money, and whether you win, we both make money, right? So we're not taking the other side of your trade. We're putting your trades to market, and we actually have a lot more to risk because we're actually putting your trades to market. For example, if let's just say there's a 10% drawdown, and you have a 200K account, that's $20,000 we're risking, right? So, it's it's a big risk, but again, that's why we're the best, because if you are profitable and if you're one of these guys who maybe didn't get a payout from one of your previous from a different prop firm, this is perfect for you, because guess what? If you get profitable, no matter if you get $10,000 in profit, $20,000, $100,000, $1 million in profit, we're going to pay you out because we put that into the market, and it's a true profit split. There's no reason, if you're profitable, for us to deny you a challenge. We also don't have all those BS rules like news trading and all that stuff that are going to hinder you from getting profits, because, again, I'll say this again, if you're profitable, we're profitable. So we want profitable traders. So, the more you make, the better for both of us. So make sure you check that out. Use that code at the bottom here. Use code 10K425 to get a 25K a 10K prop account for $25. Man, it's been an interesting week here down here in South Florida. We've had a nice little cold spell, so that's been nice. But other than that, I mean, the market's been crazy. The government's shut down, so everybody's freaking out about that. I don't even know what to say about that. I mean, day 17, I believe the last government shutdown was 35 days long, and we saw some bad things happen there. We saw railways start to shut down. I know TSA had issues. I believe the TSA people were going on strike. When I say TSA people, I mean, not TSA. Air traffic controllers were going on strike. So that obviously was a big, big issue. And yeah, we saw a lot of not good things happen. So, we'll go into that in just a little bit about the government shutdown and any updates and all the updates that we have here on day 17. But before we get into that, let's hop into the dashboard here and let me show you about some new competitions that we got going on and some things that you should really be aware of. So let's Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Oh. Um. Can you hear me now? Let's see if you can hear me now with this one. Can you hear me now? Yeah, so you know what? We're just gonna have to go with this camera. It's when I switch the camera angles, I guess it switches the thing. So, nope. Let me turn this down. Sorry. So my bad. Who is that? Chapter. Thank you so much for that. You let me know there. And thank you guys for anybody who stuck around for that little technical difficulty. But what I was saying here is, yes, this is a profit sprint. So I guess you missed all of that. This is our profit sprint competition. First person to get to 10%. So over here you see, well, I guess I'll face this way so we can both see. But over here you see Trader Days over here got 10.20% returns, and second place got 10.60% returns, but Trader Days is still in first place. That's because he made it here in 57 seconds. This ends at 5 p.m. today, but I wanted to let you know because I think it would be an awesome story if if someone joins right now with only 8 hours left and then makes it faster than 57 minutes. Maybe you do it in 50 minutes or something and you get that 10%. I mean, even if you don't make it within the correct time here, the 57 minutes, you still win a $5 basic 2-to-1 challenge, which means you could make $15 or $10 profit. But again, the $5 is free, so you technically make $15. Also, big shout out to you, Chapter 1/1. It's all right now. Sorry, I don't know why that sounded so crappy. Yeah. If you want your name up here, make sure you shoot me a comment here, and I'll make sure to pop up your name. Oh shoot, this is going in. Make sure you hop into this profit sprint though. This is a really good competition. Yeah, it's really great competition, and I love it every time we do it. We got some other competitions though here for you. So we also have our crypto weekend competition, my second favorite competition that we have. This one is for all you crypto lovers, which we'll get into some crypto news in just a second here. So stay tuned because we'll get all into some crypto news here in a second. But this is a crypto competition. It's completely free to enter. It's going to start again right when this profit sprint ends here at 5. This will start, and it's completely free to enter. And we're giving away some really cool prizes. First place is going to get a 5K BullRush A-book challenge. Remember, we are the only verifiable A-book prop firm in all of the lands. So make sure you check us out there. Only verifiable A-book prop firm. Also, I got more. Sorry, brain fart. Premier League weekend. I almost forgot. We're going to show you a quick commercial about that here in a sec. And of course, we have our NFL Survivor satellites. With our NFL Survivor satellites, you can turn just $20. Oh, let me go to sports over here. You can just turn $20 into at least $50K or at least $200 if you make it to the final round. But first place is going to be winning $50,000 with the NFL Survivor here. These are all satellites, so right now you can still join. Until October 21st, we have our NFL Survivor Round 8. So let's check that out because this is really cool. So there's 17 people in this. The top 10 people will get a free place in the NFL Survivor Tournament to compete for over $100,000 in cash prizes. Again, $100,000 of beautiful cash prizes. First place is going to get $50,000, like I said. But starting here in just a couple weeks, I mean, what are we in? Week 7 now, right? Yeah, we're going into week 7. On week 10, starting week 10, the first placer is going to, well, already the first placer is going to, of every week from week 1, the first placer gets a guaranteed spot in the final round of the Survivor, which again, if you don't remember, everybody in the final round of the Survivor wins at least minimum $200, with the first placer winning $50,000, second place like $20,000. It's huge prizes. But also on week 10, starting week 10, first place will also, in addition to getting that guaranteed spot in the final round, they'll also win $500. Second place will win $300, and third place will win $200. So I have to do my math here, make sure I was right. So first place $500, second place $300, third place $200. So if you do your math right there, if you go starting on week 10, you win every single week first place, and then the final one you win first place. That's a whopping $55,000 because 10 weeks of winning $500. And then, of course, the final week you win $50,000. So $55,000, almost half of $100,000 I mean, I could buy like 2 of my cars for that. That's crazy. That's a crazy life-changing amount of money. So remember, for only that price right down here, $20, you can turn 100 you can turn $20 into technically over $50,000. And if you do want to enter that, make sure that you use code BRLive and you're going to get a 100% deposit bonus. So for $20, you enter $20, you're going to get a $20 in credits additional for your entry. So a total of 40 credits that you'll have deposited. So make sure you use that code BRLive right here. Follow it along right down there, and you're going to get those additional promo credits. Now, the NFL Survivor, like I said, top 10 people. And look, there's only 17 people in here. Guys are tripping. 17 people, you could really, I mean, I only wish I could compete because this is huge. You could really make some really good gains. Talk about gains, all you traders out there, and you talk about return on investment. $20 to make you $50,000. If you show me a trade that you did that, or even a sports bet, you show me a sports pick on any other sports book or anything like that, where you turn $20 into over $50,000, I'll give you this stack right here, right now. So that's that. Sorry about the sound earlier. I don't know what happened there. I have one more competition I want to make sure you guys know about, which is going to start actually tomorrow, and that's our Premier League competition. All you football fans and all you Americans watching, not American football, but real football that the lads play. We have our Premier League competition for only $1.99. We're giving away $200 worth of cash prizes. If you watch soccer or football and this is your jam, this is the competition for you. See if we got any other comments here. Master Terrace Ford Best, where are you at, brother? I've been looking for you. I was hoping to see you on here, but maybe that's why I forgot to make this Discord post. All right, boom. We are live. Now we should have a few more people joining up here. I never made my post. Well, if you guys, like always, before I get into the news here, if you guys have any questions at all about anything I'm talking about, or you guys want to just chat, call me names, say I look funny, feel free to add it into the chat and I'll make sure to pop it up. Also, make sure to follow my new Twitter account at BullRush Davin. Check that out. And yeah, I got a quick message from our sponsor, and then we'll get right into some of this news. And away we go. What's up, guys? It's Premier League weekend, and we have a special competition for you. For only $1.99, you can join our Premier League weekend competition, where we have a prize pool of over $200 and $100 going to first place. So click the link now and join. I mean, what more can I say? That was me in the OG capital, the home of the lads. That was me in London town, in London, UK, talking about Premier League. Check out some of our videos on YouTube on that event. That was amazing. That was also our first trading competition that we did at that event. So that was really cool. But let's get into just a few bits of news here. Let's just talk about, obviously, what you guys have been waiting for, the government shutdown. The government has been shut down for now 17 days. Let me pull up here. Shutdown. Here you go. The government's been shut down for 17 days. Lots of things have been crazy. A lot of people have not been getting paid. Actually, little inside scoop here. I did talk to my brother, who is in the military, in a branch of the military, and he did get paid. So yesterday. He was telling me. So I know that people in the government are still, or sorry, I know people in the military. I think Trump just passed like a $2 billion, some like emergency thing where they're taking $2 billion from the defense budget and going ahead and paying out our military. So that's good. But DHS officers, including ICE, will get paid during shutdown as well. So all law enforcement officers will continue to get paid. Another thing that we've seen was yeah, so that includes all sworn law enforcement officers from Transportation Security Administration, TSA, what I was saying earlier, to Immigration and Customs Enforcement, which is your ICE, Customs and Border Protections, ICE, and the Secret Service. Obviously, the Secret Service will stay open. It's not clear who at the TSA will be included in the policy. The agency employs tens of thousands of security officers who work at the airport checkpoints, as well as law enforcement personnel like air marshals. And I guess the news agency reached out to DHS and TSA for clarification. And Noam said that law enforcement officers will get a super check by October 22nd that covers 4 days of lost pay, overtime, and their pay for the next pay period. Members of the military and FBI have also been promised pay during the shutdown. Like I said, I confirmed from a close source of mine that the military did recently get paid this week from that emergency defense budget bill that Trump recently pulled funds from. So overall, day 17 of the government shutdown, and the Senate on Thursday once again failed to advance Republican-backed funding, a Republican-backed funding bill. Marking the 10th failed vote since the shutdown. The measure aimed at extending government funding received 51 votes in favor and 45 against, well short of the 60 needed to move forward. 9 to be precise. Not a single Democrat crossed the aisle to support it. In a new twist, Senate leaders also attempted to move forward on a long-term appropriations bill to fund the Pentagon. That too collapsed, leaving defense spending on hold. Only 3 Democrats supported advancing the defense bill, drawing an angry rebuke from Senate Majority Leader John Thune. Thune has suggested that he's willing to guarantee a vote on Democrats' top demand, a 1-year extension of healthcare tax credits. Don't get me started on that. But acknowledged that he can't guarantee it would pass. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer wouldn't pass. Sorry. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer responded that no formal offer has been presented, stressing Democrats are not negotiating in public. With no breakthrough, the Senate adjourned until Monday, virtually ensuring that the shutdown will stretch into another week. 17, I'll say it again, 17 days in with workers unpaid, services shuttered, and no deal on the horizon. The question remains, who will blink first? We'll continue to track the political and economic fallout at this unprecedented standoff continues to grind on. How long will we see it? Will we see it 30 days? 35 days? We will not know. I did want to give you one thing real quick. I wanted to really kind of go a little bit deeper into what exactly is shutting the government down here. Oh, one thing that I've noticed is really funny is, and if you do live in America, definitely take advantage of this, is that most banks, or sorry, not most banks. I just read banks over here. Sorry. Most national parks are shut down right now. So what that means is they're still open, or some of them are still open, but you can go there for free. So any of these parks where you have to pay entrance fees and they're national, you can go there for free. Let me just do one thing. I see my camera lagging here a little bit. Let me just adjust one little setting and I'll be right back. And I'm back like I never left. All right. We are back. Also, next week, we'll be streaming live on Instagram as well. Every week, we're just going to be adding another platform. This week, we added Kick. Next week, we're going to add Instagram. And we're only getting better and better for you excuse me, every week. I don't know where that came from. But without further ado, let's just cover, since we're already at it, let's cover a little bit of Forex and currency news. So in India, the central bank's heavy intervention appears to be paying off. Options market data now shows sentiment swinging firmly in the favor of the rupee. 1 month 25 delta risk reversals for USD INR has dropped to its lowest level since 2012. In plain terms, that means investors are betting more on rupee strength than weakness, a dramatic shift after months of pressure on the currency. Analysts say that it could give India more breathing room to manage inflation while supporting foreign investment outflows. Meanwhile, in Washington, the outlook for the US dollar continues to dim. A new Reuters poll of foreign exchange strategists points to prolonged weakness in the greenback over the next year. The reasons are clear. The Federal Reserve is expected to keep cutting rates while America's fiscal position remains under stress. Together, those forces could weigh on the dollar well into 2026, reshaping flows across major pairs like Euro USD, USD JPY, and GBP USD. Yes, very, very scary times that we're living in. I was just having a chat with some people yesterday about this. We're continuing to print money. Like this article here says, the Federal Reserve is expected to keep cutting rates while obviously inflation is still high. And, cutting rates artificially like this, I think it's the mixture of cutting rates and then we're just going to continue to print an insane amount of money. I mean, $1 trillion is what we've already, what the government, not we, me, I haven't done anything. I haven't done shit. 1 trillion is what the government has already forecasted that they're going to be printing. I think that's a insane amount, especially while you're lowering interest rates. And I know I saw Trump announce maybe it was a couple of weeks ago now, but he did talk about doing another kind of stimulus check. I think it was like a $2,000 or $2,500 stimulus check. So between all of those factors, right, all I see, and housing prices are really high right now, I can already see a housing crash, right? That's imminent. I think the prices are going to drop and a lot of people are going to lose a lot of money that just purchased, and then people are going to panic sell for a lot less because they're like, holy shit, the housing prices are dropping. And that's where people like me are going to come in and scoop those cheap prices, but it's going to hurt a lot of people. It's going to ruin a lot of lives. So we're going to see a housing crash. I think we're going to see hyper inflation in 2026 in the US, meaning we're going to see a ton of obviously very expensive things, just some very expensive things as far as like bread, the price of everyday things are going to go up. Price of cars are going to go up because again, the exchange rates between countries, so anything that we import, it's going to get very, very, very expensive. And so on and so on. And I think this is just one of those things where we'll get into crypto here in a little bit, but investing in things that aren't tied to a specific organization or government, things like silver, gold, copper, platinum, Bitcoin, and then if you want to get riskier, Ethereum, Solana, XRP, those things. But I look at Bitcoin just like gold. I mean, it's I would even say, and I was talking to somebody about this yesterday, but I would even say Bitcoin is more solidified than gold because there is a finite amount of Bitcoin. There will never be more than 20 something million Bitcoin in existence, right? But gold, we could go, we could go, well, we could just find someone in like a mine in Africa and we find, oh my gosh, we found a giant like 10-ton you know, clump of gold, and now that just floods the gold market, and a ton more gold and drops the price. But beyond that, I just saw a company the other day that they're doing like in a seed investment rounds for they want to do a mission where they send like this spaceship with some drones and some drilling equipment on meteorites to mine for diamonds and gold. And it's like they're like, yeah, we'll bring a few tons back every time. And I'm like, a few tons of gold. Like, imagine we start pooling all this gold from, other planets and meteors and comets and stuff like that, and now we're just flooding the market now that that but Bitcoin, no one's ever gonna, unless, and if they do, it's going to zero, and we're all and we got bigger things to worry about, because yeah, if that goes to zero, currencies, there's gonna be a lot more issues if Bitcoin goes to zero, right? And a lot, obviously, less chance. We see volatility just because people are buying, selling, buying, selling, buying, selling. But in general, people believe in the mission. And overall, I think it's only going to go up year over year. We saw a big crash, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. We saw a big crash this week. But I think, like I said, overall, it's going to continue to go up. It's going to continue. We're going to continue to see positive inflows. There's my boy, Master Terrace Ford Best. You like that new little pop-up I got here? It's good to see you. It's good to see you. Always great to see you. If anybody, give him a little shout out here. If anybody's not in our Discord yet, make sure to hop in our Discord. It is the fastest way to get it's the I mean, one, it's the fastest growing Discord for traders and sports pickers alike on the internet. But also, we got Master Terrace Ford Best here, who gives some amazing insights, some amazing analysis every single day for our users. So make sure you go in there, make sure you chat. We got a lot of like-minded traders. He said that's interesting that the gold explosion is due to inflation plus investors opting for their funds to migrate to safe havens. It is very interesting. I mean, and don't get me wrong, I think that gold, we might see a little bit of a cutback. What is gold prices at right now? Let me see. I honestly don't know. Okay, so today it's actually been going down. Holy mackerel! We're at $4,329 for gold. Wait, this is this. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's crazy. All right. Yeah. So we're at 4,000. Let me just show over here. We're at $4,330 for gold. So yeah, I think that gold is definitely going to go up, and I think that inflation is the reason why obviously people are investing in gold. I mean, we saw 10% inflation. So let's just look here year to date. We saw 10% inflation. Yeah. So we saw 10% of inflation this year, which means that every $100 you have in your bank account, it's actually only nine that you had in your bank account at the beginning of 2025. So let's say you had $10,000 in your bank account at the beginning of 2025. Now you still may have the number 10,000, but the value of that $10,000 is only $9,000. So, and then, on the contrary, if you were to purchase $1,000, or let's say, let's stick with the theme, $10,000 worth of gold, now you would have what is that, $10,000, you'd have like $16,000 or something like that. So yeah, big, big, big difference. But again, let's look at this in another light. Let's look at Bitcoin and compare Bitcoin and gold. Oh. We got another comment. What I personally see the crypto world currently doing a double bottom reset for a strong explosion next month. I would 100% agree with that, Master Chairs Ford Best. You are I don't know what I'd do without you. Yes, great minds think alike. I would 100% agree. I don't know about a double bottom reset. I mean, probably actually, what am I talking about? Yeah. Why am I not getting charts? Here you go. Yeah. So probably more than likely, yes, I would have to agree. We're going to see some sort of reset, whether it's a double bottom or a full reset. But let's just look at the pretty much a little bit less than year to date, but we're up 53% here. So let's just say like 45, 50%. So yeah, either way, whether you're on Bitcoin, oh, you don't see my screen, sorry. So either way, whether you're on Bitcoin or you invested in gold at the end of the year, you're up in this is my point. Whether you invested in gold, takes me a little bit to get to the point sometimes, sorry. But whether you're in gold or you're in Bitcoin, you're up some level, whether it's between 40% to 62%, right? If you just kept your money in the bank account, you're down 10% essentially. So any money you had at the beginning of the year in your bank account, you are down 10%. And like Master Cherish for Best said, I definitely think that there's going to be a double bottom or some sort of bottom reset here in probably I mean, it's October, right? It was supposed to be October, but it kind of got cut short here. Let me look at the last week here. Yeah, so I mean, if we're looking here on the last week, we can see. Let me just take this out. We can see here on the last week, everything is essentially down. But I mean, 13% here, 13% there, and you know what? The whole market as a whole is down. So I don't. I really take this with a grain of salt. I know everybody was looking at this like Bitcoin's at 104 right now, right? By the way, any money I have, I'm putting it toward this. But you know, Bitcoin's at 104 right now, and everybody's like, "Oh my gosh, it's a big reset. Look at this big crash. We're at $121,000, and now we're at." We're at 103,000, 105,000. Bitcoin's over. It's over with Bitcoin. Guys, do you remember? Do you do you remember like let's just go to the 1 year chart, right? Do you remember a year ago when we were at like 109? We first broke $100,000. We hit all the way to 109. We're like, oh my god! And then it went all the way down to 70. The 70,000. Actually, it went all the way down to 60 at one point. No, maybe I'm wrong. All right, no, went down to 76,000, and people were saying the same thing. They're like, "Oh my God, we hit $109,000 in Bitcoin, and now we're at 76,000. The world's over. We're never gonna make money in Bitcoin again. It's all over." And then what happened right after that? Shabam! And we hit all-time high of 126,000, and then now we're seeing this to where we're at 105. And I see all these people online like, oh my god, it's the end of Bitcoin again. We're gonna see a big loss. People who don't know what they're talking about are like, we're gonna see a big loss again. Like this is everybody's losing money. Guess what? Anybody who invested pretty much, I'll say June. We'll say like May 9th and earlier is most definitely in the green, because the biggest was 105. It's at 105 right now. So if you bought Bitcoin at any time before May 9th, you're in the green, brother. And there's not that many assets where you could say that, just a few months ago, you're in the green still. I mean, I guess there is with stocks and all that, but like there's not an asset that gives this good of returns where just a few months ago that's this volatile, everybody is in the green. Like pretty much anybody who bought Bitcoin 2024, like before 2025, is still in the green. So it just blows my mind. Don't take this with a grain of salt. The way I look at this is essentially crypto Black Friday. Like I'm the not investment advice, obviously. I'm just a dude on the internet. So I would take that again, grain of salt. But I look at this as a massive discount. And my biggest issue is I don't have enough money to invest in it. If I had more money, I would 1000% invest more in it. Quick question from Master Chairs for Best. And then we'll go into, this wasn't even the crypto news. We'll get into the crypto news. It's important to note that central banks know when they could start seeing a reduction in inflation, and that will be the mega button for selling tons of gold. He also said, which will accelerate the mega drop in gold. It is obvious that they will seek to secure the mega profits and have a good Christmas. Yes, their kids want the new Xbox, the new PlayStation. They want Battlefield 6. That's a big rage right now. I'm trying to, hopefully I can get that soon. But they want those new things, and yeah, I would assume. Yeah, exactly. As soon as inflation goes down, the banks are going to start selling gold, and I think gold. Would I buy gold at what was the price, 4,300 or whatever? Would I buy gold right now, right here? Probably not. I think it's definitely gold. I mean, everything's inflated, but I think gold is super, super inflated, and I think there is a small bubble there. I probably wouldn't feel comfortable. I mean, I haven't looked into it. I've listened to a few funny, enough this week I've listened to a few podcasts, and I was listening to a little bit about gold here. So okay, when did it hit 4K? I mean, that's the first question. Okay. So the first time it hit 4K was October 7th. Which makes okay. I think it would, honestly, if I had to be 100% honest, I think the gold all depends on a few things. Same thing with crypto and all that. One, will the war in the Middle East continue? I know there's a ceasefire and a whole peace thing, but history repeats itself. As we've seen in history, those ceasefires don't last long, and it's only a matter of time before someone gets a little trigger happy and wants to shoot another rocket. So it all depends on if the war, and like Master Terrace Ford Best said, will the banks start selling gold and all that. I think it all depends on all that, those factors, which of course, I don't work at a bank, and I'm definitely have nothing to do with war in the Middle East. So I can't really, predict that. If I had to guess, I'd guess that yes, we're probably going to see another little skirmish happen. Someone's going to break that. We're not going to get political, but someone's going to break that. Ceasefire, and I think that's going to hurt that, and then, yeah, I think near the end of the year we're going to see probably a sell-off on gold from a lot of major institutions. Boom, just went down again. And yeah, I think we're going to see it go down. I think, how much, I don't know. I'm not a gold expert. I'm just kind of basing this off of economics and past trends, but I would say, I mean, if I had to, what I would want, I wanted to get down to, the 3,000 mark, back down to around 3,000. I think it'll definitely go back down below 4,000. I would say I would feel fairly confident in it probably sometime in the next 3 to 4 months going back down to 4,000, and then uh, I would like it to go to 3,000 just so I could buy some, but I just don't feel comfortable buying it here. So let's get into some actual crypto news without me just ranting away aimlessly. So first, investor appetite for crypto shows no sign of slowing. In early October, global crypto ETFs attracted nearly $6 billion in inflows, setting a record. The surge was driven primarily by demand in the US and Europe, underscoring how institutional adoption continues to fuel the sector. Even as volatility runs high, dyslexic a little bit, analysts say these products are giving traditional investors an easier way to gain exposure to Bitcoin and other digital assets. ETFs. So one of those podcasts I was listening to, they were talking about ETFs a little bit, and only extra comment I'll make on those is be careful, right? With crypto, be careful. The whole point of crypto, right, is to have control, right? Right. The whole point of crypto is for the individual user and for the people to have control, to have full autonomy, to have full decentralization. And as much as I like ETFs, and I think you can make some money on ETFs, and ETFs aren't like if anybody have seen Waterboy, Ricky Bobby, that girl is the devil. I don't think it's that bad. I don't think ETFs are the devil, but I think it's good. I have some, actually in one of my IRAs, I believe I have a Bitcoin ETF that I have invested in. But My main Bitcoin is all pure Bitcoin. Ideally, if you can do it, cold storage wallet, you have the most control over a crypto, or get it out of the brokerages. You have the most control if you can physically have it in either a cold storage wallet or a online wallet that just is not a brokerage. It's just a wallet. That is the best, because again, I think the whole point of crypto is one, ETFs. I'll just keep it at this. Again, the whole point is decentralized and you have control. There's been cases in the past where brokerages went under and people's crypto went missing, right? People didn't have access to their crypto. They said you can't withdraw. ETFs, again, it's a money product, right? So the whole point, right? The main driver for a institution to release an ETF is them making money off your fees and this kind of stuff. And again, you're not really holding Bitcoin, you're holding this ETF, right? And I think just the if you really want to have control, and if you really believe in Bitcoin, and you want to own Bitcoin and you want to make money in Bitcoin, just buy some Bitcoin. Buy some Bitcoin. If you have to buy it and keep it in a brokerage, do that. If you can take it out of the brokerage, that's even better. But just buy Bitcoin. You know what I mean? Like I think ETFs are good. Like I said, I'm not going to be a complete hypocrite. I do have a little bit of money in a Bitcoin ETF, but I would say 95% of what you invest into crypto should be in just pure cryptocurrencies, not these other, we're seeing some, I know crypto.com, I think, has these like basket accounts of crypto, right? And same thing, and you're going to start seeing these bigger institutions start creating baskets of crypto funds, right, that you can invest in. So you invest in 100 different cryptos, but at the end of the day, and when you talk to some of these huge crypto investors, right, like when I say huge crypto investors, I'm saying people that early on put in tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars, maybe even millions of dollars. They all say, like, or a lot of them say, like, early on they put money in, maybe they put $10,000 in Bitcoin, $10,000 in Litecoin, $10,000 in Ethereum, which who's talking about Litecoin anymore? But Ethereum, Solana, Cardano, XRP, Pepe, they put $10,000 in all of these coins, and 90% of them, 90% of them they lost money, and maybe only one or two cryptos they made money, and they made their money that they lost back from the other ones, and then maybe a little bit of profit. But a lot of people are like, I was breaking even at the beginning. The only reason I make money now is because I just kept holding it, and like, obviously one of the ones maybe that they invested in early was Bitcoin, so they ended up making a bunch of money. So hold your own Bitcoin. I'll end this rant right here, but hold your own Bitcoin. The whole point is decentralized. If you want to make a quick buck, or if you don't really care about like the whole what crypto was built behind, invest in whatever you want. But I think long term, just get it in a cold wallet if you can, or keep it in or just if you have it in a brokerage, it's better than nothing. But ideally keep it in just a wallet, not a brokerage, and just get the coin, man. Get the coin. That's where the freedom is. That you don't want. Last point, 10 seconds more. You don't want anybody in control of your money. Like a bank account, I have my money in the bank account, but who knows? They could come back and be like, "Yep, sorry, Mr. Dobbin, you can't." I mean, they have actually before, where I've tried to withdraw and they're like, "You can't withdraw that much." Yeah, that sucks, man. That sucks. Think of it. Think of brokerages and like a bank, or think of like having an ETF where someone else is just holding all your cash, and then having it in cold wallet or just like an online wallet. You just got your Bitcoin tucked away under your pillow, and nobody can touch it. Nobody can touch it. You can take it out whenever you want. Nobody can see you take it out. It's beautiful. So, do we have another comment here from Master Chairs for Best? Oh, we got a couple more comments. Sorry, brother. All right, we already read those. Okay, interesting. What I'm seeing next. Do you think that the massive gold sales, where will the new money go? I think the crypto world, starting with JP Morgan Chase. Yes, correct. Which is so funny with JP Morgan Chase, because if anybody remembers Jamie Dimon, the top dog of JP Morgan Chase, he said, like, what was it, a few years ago, he was like, any of my investors who are buying Bitcoin are fired. And then they came out and they bought like a couple $1 million worth of Bitcoin. And yeah, I think once massive gold sales happen from these institutional funds, I think two things will happen, right? I think one, they're going to sell off a bunch of gold, let the gold prices tank, and then just swoop in and, like, let's say they sell off 500, like one bank sells off $500 million worth of gold. They're going to go let the price go to half and then go in and buy the same amount of gold, but at like 50% off, and just get that back. And then they'll have an extra 250 million, but obviously it'll probably be billions of dollars. And yeah, I think it'll go into crypto. And I think also some other high fast growing sectors. But yeah, I think a lot will go into crypto. I think we're going to start seeing, like I said, a lot more of these ETFs, a lot more of crypto based banking products. I was just at PNC, my bank, my home bank, and I was talking to the teller there about crypto and what their plans are with it. And it's very interesting. I think we're going to see a lot more banks releasing crypto products. They have shown proof, depending on blockchain technology, and streamlining the usability of their stablecoin that already exists and is in use. I think, lastly on that, I think we're going to see a global stablecoin. I think that within the next 5 years, maybe 10 years, we're going to see some sort of global coin that every country uses, that every it's going to be like I don't want to say this because this sounds really negative, but like a one world currency, a one world cryptocurrency. So it'll be like USDC or Tether or something like that. But yeah, I think it'll be a stable coin. I think there'll be a one world currency that every country uses. I'm hoping it's XRP. I'm hoping it's not it's just an altcoin. I'm hoping XRP could be that for the world. But I think it'll most likely be some sort of stable coin, the new one that they create and send out to everyone. Let's cover the rest of this crypto news right here. But while money pours in, caution is growing. Following a record-breaking crash, traders across the market are racing to hedge against the risk of another freefall. From options to futures, hedging activity has spiked as investors try to shield their portfolios from further pain. Some analysts warn that high leverage and unstable sentiment could keep swings sharp in the weeks ahead. I would caution everybody against, okay, sorry, let me not say it like that. I would caution people with these high leverage, futures and options trading. I got deep into options trading, and look, I'm not a trader. I mean, I'm an investor, I would say, right? Like, there's traders and investors in this world. And I would say I'm an investor. I'm not built for and I can admit that, I'm not built for that short-term daily day trading. I've tried many times day trading. I've tried actually recently options and futures trading in crypto, and it's very, I think especially for crypto, stocks is one thing, but crypto is so volatile. Anything can happen. I mean, a person can make a person with millions of followers can make a tweet, and everything can change, right? So I think that whole futures and options trading in crypto, it's not much different than gambling. Obviously, it's essentially like, I mean, look, I was doing it and I was getting the same feeling I was getting when I was sports betting. Like when I go place a pick on the a football team or a UFC fight or something like that. So just be careful, guys. I hate watching people lose money, man. And just remember, every time somebody wins, somebody loses, and every time somebody loses, somebody wins. So just be careful with your options trading, futures trading, especially in crypto. It's a very volatile space. Come into BullRush and just trade in the crypto weekend competition on BullRush, and it's free to enter. But if you want to deposit to enter the NFL Survivor, Premier League, or any of other competitions, make sure you use that code BRLive for a 100% deposit bonus. And for only $20, you can enter our 100K NFL Survivor competition, where you could win potentially $50K. Without that further, Let's get into it. And in regulatory headlines, U.S. authorities have seized more than $14 billion worth of Bitcoin, linked to what's being described as one of the largest pig butchering scams in history. Prosecutors say that the scheme tricked thousands of victims through a fake investment platform before siphoning off their crypto. One alleged mastermind has now been charged, and law enforcement agencies are calling the seizure a landmark victory for the fight against crypto fraud. Of course, as crypto becomes bigger and bigger and we see more people using crypto, uh, as we see more and more people using crypto, of course, we're going to see these scams. I think we talked about it last week, or no, it's 2 weeks ago. We talked about how the UK had their biggest crypto seizure. And yeah, I think we're just going to see this more and more. The further we get into crypto being popular, I mean, it's just how like anything gets popular, and we start to see people scamming. If you don't know what a pig butchering scheme is, a pig butchering scheme is a long-term, high-stakes investment scam, typically involving cryptocurrency, where fraudsters build a personal relationship with a victim before convincing them to invest in a fraudulent platform. The term refers to practice of fattening a hog before slaughter, symbolizing how scammers fatten up their victims by gaining their trust over time before stealing all of their money. These schemes are often run by organized criminal syndicates, many of which operate out of forced labor scam compounds out of Asia. How they work. So, breakdown is: first, they initiate contact. The scams begin with an unexpected message via text, social media, or dating app, often claiming to be wrong numbers. If the victim replies, the scammer initiates a friendly conversation. They then build trust. The scammer invests weeks or even months building personal connection with the victim, sometimes feigning a romantic interest. They create convincing fake identity and fabricate successful lifestyle to gain the victim's confidence and emotional investment. Then they start introducing the investments. Once the trust is established, the scammer brings up a lucrative investment opportunity, frequently involving cryptocurrency. They pressure their victims to move the conversation to an encrypted messaging platform like WhatsApp or Telegram. Then they start promoting a fake platform. The scammer directs the victim to a fraudulent website or mobile app that mimics an illegitimate investment platform. To create the illusion of success, they use fake reports and doctored screenshots to show large, rapid returns on small initial investments. In some cases, they may even allow a small withdrawal to build more confidence. Then they start pressuring. This is where it comes in. The scammer uses victims' fabricated success and emotional bond to convince them to invest more money, including draining savings and retirement funds or taking out loans. And then the final: finish him. Like in Mortal Kombat, the final slaughter, when the scammer believes they have extracted as much money as possible, or when the victim gets suspicious, they vanish. The fake investment platform is shut down, and the victim is left with no way to recover their funds. The scammer may also invent excuses like fake fees or taxes to demand even more money before disappearing completely. So, if it's too good to be true, it's probably too good to be true. I've seen these. I've gotten messages and I've gotten fake investments. There's one that I get all the time still where it's like, and you could just tell this, I don't even respond to them, because if you respond, you've already lost, right? But there's one that I constantly get, and it's like, oh my gosh, your uncle just died. Here's the login to his crypto. Make sure you take the crypto out and link your account to take your crypto out. It's $1 million worth of Bitcoin. They'll send a crazy message like this, like one of my family members died and it was in his will to give me his crypto or something like that. And then you put in the information, link your Coinbase account or whatever, and boom, now your account's drained. Most notable one of these scams is the one that we talked about that happened in Miami, where there's like two 21-year-old dudes from Singapore who stole, I think it was $200 or $300 million from one single person in Bitcoin. And then when they finally got caught, they had spent all of it, and the guy only got back like $40 or $50 million because they were going to the club and just blowing money like crazy. So, I mean, that's our crypto news. It's 9:30. We're almost done. So let me play one quick commercial, and then we are going to get into the sports and then NFL news. So stay tuned because we're going to go deep into your sports. We got updates with soccer or football, like you Europeans say. We got NBA updates. We got updates about some stuff in London. And then, of course, we got all of your NFL updates. So stay tuned. Listen to it's going to be 30 seconds, and I'll be back in just 30 seconds. That was incorrect. Sorry. I'll be back in just 30 seconds.
Welcome to BullRush, the ultimate arena where competition meets strategy. Challenge your friends in fantasy sports, picking competitions where every decision counts. Prove you really know the game by climbing the leaderboard, outsmarting your rivals, and locking in bragging rights. It's a battle of instincts, strategy, and sports knowledge. Ready to make your picks? Get ready for BullRush. Visit bullrush.com today. Are you in?
Oh, let me, sorry, I'm going to see if I can get this to kind of, all right, am I still a little blurry? All right, whatever. We're going to, also, I'm sorry if you hear some weird noises, like, they're doing a little bit of construction. Sorry. If you hear some crazy noises, they're doing a little bit of construction. Why is this not? See, now there you go. All right. Sorry, if you hear some weird noises, they're doing a little bit of construction. So let's fly through this NFL news and sports news, and we'll get us done here because I don't know how much louder this is going to be getting. So let's get right into it, guys. Again, if you guys have any questions or comments, just hop right in. Before I just need to hear if this is actually, let me see if you hear this. Sorry, before I just need to hear if this is actually, let me see if you hear this. Oh, you don't. Okay, so you're just really loud to me, but you guys can't hear it. So let's get right back into it. Sorry about that distraction. After a 6-year absence, the NBA is back in China. Brooklyn Nets and the Phoenix Suns squared off in Macau for a preseason showdown, marking the league's first game in the Chinese market since 2019. The move represents more than basketball. It's a step toward repairing ties with a crucial global fan base. With the NBA's popularity surging among young Chinese fans, the league hopes this series will reignite commercial partnerships and cultural connections that had been on pause. Huge. Remember when LeBron was speaking Chinese? That was pretty cool. I think that was back in 2019. So back in 6 years. Meanwhile, Londoners are experiencing a sporting spectacle rarely seen outside of Japan. Grand Sumo has arrived at the Royal Albert Hall. Compete with towering wrestlers, rituals, and the thunder of traditional drums. Organizers call it a chance to globalize one of the Japan's oldest sports. Quick fun fact about that. Two quick fun facts about that. I was just reading in an article yesterday that in London, two things. One, they actually ran out of noodles. They're eating so much so it's 40 sumo wrestlers, right? And the chef that was preparing the food for them also. So he said that London, the supplier ran out of noodles, right? They're eating so much. And then two, they were eating 150 pounds. I did the conversion from kilos. I don't remember what it was in kilos, but 150 pounds of rice every single day between 40 people. That's about like 4 or 5 pounds of rice a day per person. 4 or 5 pounds of rice. That's insane. 150 pounds of rice a day total between 40 people. Absolutely bonkers, as they would say. It was a terrible accent. But finally, football fever is already heating up, and I'm talking about European football, not American football. FIFA confirmed that over 1 million tickets have been sold through the Visa's pre-sale program. 1 million. Underscoring massive global demand. The tournament, hosted across the United States, Canada, and Mexico, is still more than 8 months away, but fans clearly aren't waiting. The record-setting pace suggests we could see the most attended World Cup in history. I mean, I don't think we could. I think we will see the most attended 1 million pre-sale tickets. I mean, let me just look up really quick how many... FIFA World. So I'm looking up what the biggest FIFA. I guess I should say. Sorry, I'm looking this up right now. So it's actually the FIFA Women's World Cup. The 2023 FIFA's Women's World Cup in Australia and New Zealand sold over 1.7 million tickets. So that's the number one right now. The pre-sale already hit 1 million tickets. It's also in that one was in 2 countries. This is in 3 countries. Let's make some bets. Put some bets in the chat. Put some predictions in the chat. What you think we will see here. What you think we'll see here with the FIFA World Cup. How many people do you think you will see? We're going to see. I'm going to say 2.3 million. I think that'll be the final. I think we're going to see probably another 1.3 million in regular season or regular sales. But I'm going to say like between 2 and 2.3 million viewers. Next up, let's get into week 6. So Week 6 of the NFL delivered standout performances, major shakeouts in power rankings, and even some controversy on the field. So let's break down the top headlines. First up, Kansas City. Kansas City quarterback Patrick Mahomes continues to prove why he's one of the best in the game. He accounted for 4 total touchdowns in the Chiefs' big win, earning him AFC Offensive Player of the Week honors. On the NFC side, Atlanta running back Bijan, pause real quick. Everybody, if you look at our YouTube, I was getting so much hate because I was reading a script about like what I was writing about, like the recap for football, and instead of Bijan, all you guys watching on YouTube right now, I hope some of these commenters are watching right now. Bijan, I said Bajan for some reason. Bajan Robinson. Bijan, okay, Bijan. I'm sorry, guys. Don't kill me in the comments when I pronounce someone's name wrong. I say a lot of names every day, and I can't get them all right, okay? So Bijan Robinson stole the spotlight, racking up a staggering 238 scrimmage yards, including an electric 81-yard touchdown run. Robinson's performance solidified his place as one of the league's most dangerous young stars. The Detroit Lions are making noise across the league, climbing to the number 1 spot on ESPN's Week 6 power rankings. Detroit's consistent performance and strength of schedule vaulted them ahead of the Eagles and the Bills, both of whom slipped after uneven outings. Analysts say that the Lions now look like a legitimate Super Bowl contender. Shout out to Dan. A remarkable turnaround for a franchise long seen as underdogs. And finally, the play that had everyone talking. The Steelers attempted their version of the infamous tush push on a crucial 4th and 1 against the Bengals last night, but Instead of moving the chains, Pittsburgh was hit with a false start penalty. The mistake forced them to settle for a field goal, a decision that loomed large in the game's outcome. In yet another chapter in the debate over the legality and execution of the NFL's most talked about short yardage play. So a lot of people think that if they didn't do that little tush push and they didn't get that penalty, they would have gotten that touchdown and they potentially would have won the game. But instead, Bengals came home. My boy, he'll always be a Raven in my head. My boy, Joe Flacco brought it home. Crazy pick, though. I don't know what the Browns were thinking. Mike Tomlin said it best. I don't know what the Browns were thinking with trading that man to the Bengals when all the Bengals needed was a quarterback. Crazy outcome there. Like always, we're here at the end of the show. Make sure you use code BRLive for a 100% deposit bonus. That's going to come a lot real handy when you're joining this NFL Survivor competition. $20 is going to turn into over $50,000. Just enter that competition, and when you enter, make sure you use that code BRLive. Also, don't forget, make sure you use code 10K425. That's 10K425 to get your $25 10K account. I think it's usually like $100. So $25 10K account. Use code 10K425. Again, my name is Davin. It's been a great show. Oh, looks like we got another comment here. Yes. Sorry, I'm not even going to pronounce MLK. I want a funded account. Make sure you hop over here and get your funded account here today. Go on the link tree. It's going to be one of the top links. It's get funded. And then also make sure you, like I said, you use that code. Use that code 10K425, and you're going to get that 10K account for only $25. Master Cherish for Best said, "Hi, bro, Davin. A quick question: where do you shop for food? How do you see prices, and have they changed in the last 72 hours or a week?" So, I mean, I know you're in the Caribbean, right? So I don't know if they have these stores there, but I typically shop at a place we have in Florida. It's called Publix. It's the greatest supermarket in the world, and I also shop at Costco. If I'm being honest with you, I've seen prices go up very slowly and steadily over the last maybe 6 months. 6 months to a year, we've been seeing things go up steadily. Over the last 72 hours a week, I went shopping last weekend. I guess I haven't seen them go up. I'm also not the type of person to really, for things like that, I'm not analyzing the prices every second. I'm just trying to get healthy food. I'm not looking at eggs, and if there's a 20-cent change in eggs, I don't notice. If there's a 50-cent change in eggs, I don't really notice. Now, if there's like a $2-3 change, I'll notice that. But I try not to look at the prices of things that are essential that I have to get regardless, like gas. I'm not looking at the gas prices that much. I shop at Costco, so I already know I'm getting the cheapest gas prices because they typically have the cheapest. So I'm not looking at that much. And I'm not looking at food for small changes for 10, 20 cents. It's definitely gone up over the last 6 months, slowly and gradually, and not in large amounts. But yeah, I haven't seen any major changes in the last 72. Definitely, I haven't gone shopping in the last 72 hours, so I'll tell you that. But in the last week, I haven't seen any changes. Chapter said, "Would there be a 25 account flash sale soon? If I could get myself, that would be great." So I'm glad you asked that. We actually do have a sale on 25K accounts. Let me pull up the graphic here for you. So right here, this is what you need. So right now, not that one. Sorry about that. Not this one. Right here. So, and you said, "I'll be set." So perfect. You are set. So right now we have a 20% off sale using code SAVE20 on 5, 10, 25K accounts. But of course, if you're buying a 5K account, just use this code because you're going to get a better deal. It's going to be $25 for a 10K prop account using 10K425. But if you want a 25K account, brother, just use code SAVE20. And if this is your first account, if you've never had a funded account with us, chapter, you're going to use code WELCOME and you're going to get 30% off. But if you've already purchased an account before from us, you can use either of these codes. So if you want 50, 100, or 200K account, use code SAVE15. 5, 10, or 25K account, use code SAVE20. And then, of course, if you've never had an account with us, make sure you use code WELCOME and you're going to get 30% off. You got that, chapter? So right now, answer your question. SAVE20 is going to get you 20% off a 25K account. But again, best deal right now is right here, $25 for this 10K prop account. There's no deal better. So make sure you hop in there. It's been a great show. Like always, I wanted to say again, thank you to everybody watching. I could not do this show if nobody watched this show. So I'm glad you guys are all watching and you guys are tuned in. And I always appreciate everybody commenting, because the comments is what keeps me alive. Makes me not feel like I'm crazy just sitting here talking to myself to no one. And, yes, so I just want to say thank you to everybody here. Make sure you join the Profit Sprint. Make sure you join the NFL Survivor, the Premier League. Make sure you take advantage of all of those discounts. Also, make sure you give me a little follow on Twitter as well, BullRush Davin, at BullRush Davin. I just want to say thank you again to all 172,843 people. 172,843. I remember December or January, we made a big post. We had 50,000 users. Now we're all the way up to 172. We'll be at 200K in no time. And you bet your ass we're going to have a nice little giveaway for 200K. I said this last week, but I really, really like this quote. So I'm going to end it on this quote. And I promise you next week, I'm going to have a new quote. I just love this quote. This has been my quote of the month, but laziness is nothing but a habit of thinking of the effort instead of the outcome. I'll say it one more time. Laziness is nothing but the habit of thinking of the effort versus the outcome. What I mean by that is everybody's like, I want to be a successful trader, but then they're like, oh my God, I got to sit there and I got to watch 10 hours of YouTube videos to learn how to trade. I got to do all the, well, you're thinking about the outcome. You're thinking about the effort. How about you start thinking about the outcome? Think about how you could buy that new BMW, or you could take your, you pay your parents' house off, or, you make money and you don't have to work a 9 to 5 or sit in an office and do all this other stuff. Too many people nowadays are thinking about the effort. Like, oh, it's so hard to do this. So yeah, life's freaking hard, man. You just got to work hard and you're going to be successful. And if you start looking at the outcome versus the effort, like for example, when you're sitting on the couch eating some ice cream, or sitting on the couch watching a movie and you got ice cream in the freezer and you're like, man, ice cream would be really good right now. What do? You get up, you get that ice cream and you enjoy the ice cream. Unless you're really lazy, you're not sitting there and you're like, oh my God, but I gotta get up, gotta move the blanket, gotta do. No, you get the freaking ice cream, you eat the ice cream and you're happy, right? Stop thinking about the effort. When you think about the effort, you're not going to get shit done in life, right? So stop thinking about the effort, start thinking about the outcome, because all laziness is like a disease. Laziness is just a terrible habit of thinking about the effort over the outcome. So start thinking about your outcome. Take a step every day to get 1% better, because again, if you get 1% better every day, you're 365% better by the end of the year. So don't shoot to get 100% better a day. Shoot for 1%, getting better by 1% every day. And I promise you, you're going to see some good outcomes at the end of the year. This has been a great show. Again, thank you. We're going to get to 180 by next watch. We'll be over 180 users by next week. Enjoy your weekend. Hop in that crypto weekend competition. And remember, think about the outcome, think about the outcome. Don't think about the effort. Stay safe, trade, play some sports picks, and good luck in the NFL Survivor.